You know who I am, but you don't know why I'm here.
You looking at my gut?
No.
Yeah, sure.
Well, I just took a little peek.
I saw you.
So
What are you looking at my gut for?
Oh.
Hey, it's Krusty the Pizza Man. All right, where's my $400?
Hey, wait. How can you be here when your show's on live?
I just threw on an old rerun. No one will know the difference.
I've got a mug full of cold coffee, 3 cigarettes, a pistol, and a mask. With these cheap sunglasses and 20 on pump one. Let's run.
Lucky to what? Cha-cha cheetah. Free wheel bicycle.
That's right, Three Wheel Bicycle Podcast. It is currently 52 degrees in the real windy city, Casper, Wyoming.
Right.
As always, we got an amazing show for you this week. We got a longtime friend. He's going to tell us a pretty amazing journey that he's had all the way up to where he's at right now. And then we're going to shoot the shit. We're going to talk, if you've ever heard of the Backrooms before, that's pretty interesting. Going to get into that. Along with placing 2 mirrors in front of each other. It's almost like a conspiracy type episode. And I'm sure with Sean on, ooh, that was like a rhyme. He's going to have some pretty goofy shit to say as well. Super stoked for that. Being that it's February 25th, it is Clam Chowder Day, Chocolate Covered Nut Day, and I like this one. It is Smart and Sexy Day.
Yeah.
Feeling both of those right now. And here we go. We're going to get in to the show. Oh, yeah, I'm your host, Stevie V, and the man sitting next to me,
Joshin.
laying down all those funky underground sounds. Welcome, everybody, to another wonderful episode of Three Wheel Bicycle Podcast. That was an amazing, that was amazing as always, man.
Hell yeah, thanks. That's cool.
You know, I was gonna, I know some of these, well, all of these episodes like have a number and like the season. Right. And when I go to put them in there, I just put random ones in there. Right. I try to stick to it, but either or, nonetheless, welcome.
Hell yeah.
Thank you for letting us invade your ear for another week.
Right.
How have you been? Good, man?
Not bad. Yeah, not bad.
Shit, yeah.
Not bad. Same old, same old.
Standing on 2 feet, welding the world together.
Right. Oh, yeah. For sure. Definitely.
Well, shit, yeah. Yeah, like I said, welcome everybody to the show. Thank you, everybody that's listening on the Spotify, the Apple. I'm starting to lose my voice. Google, iHeart, of course. Speaking of iHeart, the guest that we're going to be having on the phone is the reason why I put the platform out on the iHeart.
Sweet.
So that's pretty cool.
Oh. Yellow, not orange, bro.
Yeah.
Calm down, guys. Calm down.
Don't forget, this coming Saturday, we're going to be doing a live event with 10 for 10. According to our wonderful weather, it is going to be pretty decent out. So I think we're just going to set up out in the garage. It would probably, we wouldn't have to move so much furniture around and stuff. You know what I mean?
Right. For sure.
But yeah, we'll put up that link to that live show will be down in the show notes. So it's going to be really cool catching up with them guys. And then they're going to be doing a live performance on the show.
Hell yeah.
So stay tuned for that.
Hell yeah.
Another thing that we got, March 16th, Steal Your Podcast. We're going to be on their show. So that's going to be pretty interesting.
Right.
I'm excited to network with
me
more
too.
Podcasters.
Yeah, it's going to be different, but yeah.
Yeah.
I have been on, shit, I don't know. I think I've been on one other podcast. Two.
Yeah,
well,
two.
Yeah.
The Comic Zone and
right.
Middle of the Road, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to them boys.
For sure. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
But it was weird being on other people's microphones and shit.
Yeah.
What I'm saying.
Yeah,
when we actually sat there.
Yeah.
It was weird.
Yeah. I totally agree about that. Fun time, though.
It was, yeah, oh, yeah.
Of course.
Awesome. Loved it.
Oh, I forgot to mention in the little lead-up part of the build-up of the show, we're going to be talking about 1990s.
Woo-woo.
This episode. Last one we did, 1997. It's pretty cool learning some of those. Well, not learning, I guess, just kind of remembering.
Right.
Bringing you back. And thank you, shout out to Cassie for purchasing that piece of album art that I painted. Let's give her a cheers. And essentially just, everybody that supports the spray paint, my artwork, I guess.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Vanderheiden Design. It's all down below. You just click that link. This week's episode art, I finished up last night. It has the pictures don't do the justice. You've actually seen it in person.
Yeah, it's cool. It's badass.
But if you are interested in this piece, it has that thing has been around for quite a while.
A long time.
But yeah, if you're interested in purchasing that, just go down below, click the link, do all that fun stuff.
Woo woo.
Also, thank you everybody that supports this wonderful podcast. Shout out to you, of course. We got the Little Shop of Burgers, Trailer Park Baker, Two Bowls Tattoo, Debo's Painting, Mobile On-Site Oil, Forbidden Leaf, Active Life Photo, Kamikaze Kid.
Yeah.
Little Molden Books, the Casper Artist Collective. That show's coming up next
Nice.
month.
Oh, yeah.
Monochromatic. I got a pretty sweet piece that I'm entering in that. A lot of history. Sitting Bull.
Should be badass.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see everybody's artwork that's going to be down there. Let's see. Upcoming stuff that we have. We can't forget about B Diesels. Another one, PRD Entertainment.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
I wanted to give a shout out to CY Discount Liquor. I always go in there now,
Oh, yeah.
get my beers.
Sweet.
Extremely friendly staff.
Right. I've only went in there a couple times, but dude, place is huge. They got everything in there.
And they're going to be opening up that the back door.
Like the food part and stuff or whatever. Yeah.
Yep. Lounge, I guess. I don't know
Nice.
what you would call it,
The
but
lounge.
yeah, keep your eyes peeled for that.
Yeah. We've actually, dude at my work has done some of the stainless for that kitchen project and stuff. So
Oh, fuck yeah. Well,
pretty cool.
Let's see what else you can't forget about. Our one and only Casper Spuds. Baseball is coming up. It's under 100 days now. I don't have the exact opening day. I should have wrote that down.
Right.
Either or. You just head on over to spudsbaseball.com
Hell yeah.
to stay up to date.
Yes, sir.
Super excited. Speaking of baseball, I seen this thing, so I had to screenshot it. I'm sure you remember Mr. Roger Clemens.
Okay.
He used to lather up his genitals with icy hot, so he was never comfortable.
Oh, yeah? That's a real thing?
Don't know. Just
Okay.
one of those,
Right.
strange fun facts. Yeah. I mean,
Ow.
yeah.
I would be very uncomfortable. I wouldn't be playing fucking baseball.
No. Well, I mean, I guess some people have.
Yeah,
Everybody has their own thing, I guess.
I guess.
Ouch. We can't forget about Elite Custom Apparel. Big old Concrete. We're going to get him on one of these days,
Yeah.
too.
Hell yeah.
He said he was going to be coming down, but here's, you know what?
Well.
It is pretty nice out. You know what I mean?
It is. It is.
He needs to come out here.
Yeah, for sure.
Come out to the wonderful Casper, Wyoming. Excuse me, some local events we got coming up. March 9th at Oil City Beer Company is the MS Walk fundraiser, Metal Heroes Show.
Awesome.
Yep, there's going to be quite a few bands. All this you can find on Facebook. Head on over there.
Check it out.
All the proceeds are going to be going towards MS.
Right.
Another one in March. We have, of course, at wonderful Oil City Beer Company.
Sweet.
Teenage Bottle Rocket, System Restore,
Oh, shit. Yeah.
and the Shock Troopers.
Hell yeah.
Should be a fun time.
That should be cool.
I know. Maybe we should stop saying should.
Is.
I know I do it a bunch, you know what I mean? Oh, it should be a good time. Well, it is going to be a good time.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
It's almost like, yeah, it's like putting doubt out there, I guess, right?
I hear you.
Corroding the air. Fucking stupid. Okay.
Calm down, yes.
Yeah. Keep it chill. So on this date, 1957, Buddy Holly and the Crickets record the smash hit "That'll Be the Day" in Clovis, New Mexico.
That's crazy.
That'll be the day that was the jam, man.
Oh, I know. It was. Hell yeah. It's Clovis is tiny little place.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I guess. Well, I've never been to New Mexico. The farthest down south I've been is Vegas, I guess.
Yeah.
That is it. Let's see. There's got to be. The Boston Bruins. I guess that is pretty impressive. 1941, the Boston Bruins set NHL record of 23-game unbeaten streak.
Nice.
Shout out to them. Even though I'm rocking a Blackhawks. Fucking.
Ooh. I don't know. 1950. Your show of shows was Sid Caesar and Imogene Coca. Premieres on NBC. Includes Mel Brooks, huh?
Yeah. Woody Allen. This is pretty cool. 1986, 28th Grammy Awards, We Are the World by Phil Collins wins. Speaking of music, we had Dropkick Murphys and the Pennywise.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
That, holy moly. All I can say is thank you to everybody that was handing me beers.
Right.
The next day was pretty rough, but man, it was a damn good time. There's a lot of really cool people around, you know.
For sure.
Everybody was super happy from what I seen. I didn't get up in there.
Right.
Did you hop up in the pit?
Oh, no.
Trevor said him and CJ got up in there. I was, you know what? I'm not going to lie, nothing against Irish music or anything like that. After we got done with the show, then we went to Galloway's. And then the next morning, right when I get into work, Jake's got Dropkick Murphys playing again, but blasting it. And it's just like, oh, my God. Okay. Right. I'm about ready to drop kick a Murphy right now.
I hear you.
And then it was funny because CJ had to work too, and he was like, all right, dude, like we've already heard all of this last night. And I'm like, thank you, dude. Thank you. But
yeah, I feel the same way.
I mean, I'll jam it,
shit,
but not.
I don't want to continually hear it for days on end.
I'm not gonna lie. I was jamming Chris Brown the other day, and actually, that We Are the World. It was pretty crazy because Michael Jackson actually told Chris Brown, was like, dude, you're gonna make it essentially or whatever, you know, right. Like Well, there was like this clip or whatever where Chris Brown's like, he like sang some of his songs, but it was at, and this goes amazing with our coming up topic, Man in the Mirror. He was singing that, but he was like, breaking down, right. Like hella emotional. I was like, holy fuck, dude, like, man. Right. And then I'm sitting there thinking about, man, I know I drank way too much the night before. Hopefully I wasn't a fucking ass. I didn't make an ass of myself. Right. And it was like, I'm talking about the man in the mirror. And I'm like, oh my God, dude, what am I doing with my life? Yeah. I don't know. I hear it was amazing. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. That shit fucking happens.
Let's see. Well, that was most of the. We'll scroll down just a little bit further. 1990. We're going to be getting into the 90s later on, so this is going to go amazing with it. On a BBC taped interview, rock star Stevie Nicks breaks down saying that she will never have children and no man can stand her for long.
Mm-hmm. Crazy.
I'm talking about the man. Oh, yeah. All right. Well, I tell you what, we're going to take a short break. I'm going to get Sean. I'm going to make sure that he's got his P's and Q's in order. And then we're going to...
Hell yeah.
We'll be right back.
Sounds good. That's right. We are back from our short little break. We're going to give Sean a call. See what he's up to. He's kicked back. Hell yeah.
Hello?
Hello, is this Mr. Erickson?
This is Mr. Erickson. Is this Mr. Vanderheiden?
It sure is. How are you, buddy?
I'm good. What's going on, brother?
Oh, not much, man. Are you kicking back today?
Oh, dude, absolutely.
Hell,
absolutely. Yeah, no, Sundays are typically a day where I try and get my mind right for the week to come, if that makes sense.
Yeah, shit, yeah. Dude, that music video that you Snapchatted me yesterday.
Yeah.
I listened to it, hella badass, and then when I went out to the garage, I couldn't fucking find it again. Who was that? Mind Slap?
Oh, no, Mind Flip.
Mind Flip,
yeah,
all right,
Mind
cool.
Flip. He's got like a crazy vibe going on. It's like a late or like early to mid 90s hip hop like music vibe, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, shit.
So that's why I always thought, I'm like, this guy could have been huge in the frickin' 90s, but now he's coming out with music in frickin' 2023 or whatever, you know?
Yeah. Well, yeah, speaking of the 90s, we're going to get into that here shortly. We got to play a little catch up here, my man.
Oh, dude, I know it's been a while. It's been a minute.
So I have a question. Well, I have many. Okay, so when I was a senior and I got locked up and then I never like came back, did you join the Marine Corps like right out of high school? Or
Yeah.
and what was like your decision to like do that, I guess?
Well, it's kind of crazy and kind of lame at the same time. But so I think it was freshman or sophomore year in high school. I had no idea what the fuck I was gonna do, right? But I was like, well, I like camping, I like being outside, and I hate school. So I'm like, okay, well, my options are pretty limited, right?
Yeah.
Not to mention, like, I sucked at school. Like, I was like, I just a shithead student, didn't want to do anything. I was like, homework's for fucking the birds. So
Amen.
it was a career class, right?
Yeah.
And I remember, like, I was going to join the Army, and this is kind of a funny story, but so I was going to join the Army, and so, like, it was like Monday they had one branch of the service come in, Tuesday another one, Wednesday another one, whatever, right, on down the line. And the teacher was like, well, we're going to have a Marine come in tomorrow, and I'm like, what the fuck's a Marine? Never even heard of it, right? And this is pre internet days, right? You had nothing. Unless you read it in a fucking encyclopedia, you don't know anything.
Yeah.
So this guy, he's like, oh yeah, we're having a Marine tomorrow. So the Marine comes in the next day and he shows us like this he pops in a VHS tape, of like the special forces of Marines, and I'm like, dude, that's fucking badass. Like,
Yeah.
right? I'll never forget it, dude. I jumped on my Gateway computer. Remember Gateway?
Yes, sir.
Oh fuck yeah, that's a '90s computer right there.
Yeah.
Son.
Yeah.
So I jumped on the computer and I typed this freaking letter out, and I had sent it to the recruiter in Sioux Falls. I was like, I want to join the fucking Marine Corps, blah blah. Like, this is what I want to do, and he actually sent me a letter back saying like, yeah, get a hold of us after your junior year, because like obviously, I was 13, 14 years old at this point. But I still was undecided, right? So back when they actually had recruiting offices, I went to the Navy one too, because I was like, now I was starting to look into like special forces and shit, right? So I was like, oh, Navy SEALs, fuck yeah, dude. There's tons of shows on the History Channel and all that with Navy SEALs.
Yeah.
And so I went in there, and I'll never forget this, dude. The guy was like half overweight. He was a pretty big fella, and as I'm talking to the guy, he fucking reaches for something and spills his whole cup of coffee all over the desk. And I was like, oh my God, this is not what I want to be. Like, I don't want to fucking be this guy, like overweight with the fucking mustache, like, I'm like, nah, this is not me. So, long story short, man, that's kind of what led up to why I joined, because I had no future, man. I was a shithead delinquent too,
Yeah.
But yeah, so I signed up August 1st or August 10th of 2001, and like swore in, did all the bullshit. So like I did that, and then I had like a year of what they call the Poolie program, where you go like 1 week in a month, and you just eat like on a Saturday, like you go run or do pull-ups or whatever the fuck they want you to do. And then of course a month after that, 9/11 happened, and then and that, I shit you not, Stevie, like I wouldn't say dumb, but I was so like dumb book smart wise, like wasn't a good student. That when I took the ASVAB test, I scored like the lowest that you can get.
Really?
Which of course the infantry, they're like, dude, we'll take anybody, we don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And I was like, cool, that's what I'm doing anyway, so I don't really give a shit about this,
Right.
So yeah, and then August 6th of 2002 is when I took off, man.
Jesus. I forgot to, sorry to interrupt, I forgot to mention, my brother-in-law Josh is sitting here next to me too.
Oh, yeah. Hey, what's up?
He's tapping
Oh, what's
in.
up, buddy?
Yeah, what's happening?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Not much, man. Enjoying the nice little bit of sunshine we got left for the day.
Hell yeah.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
Nice.
there's still some sun here too, I guess.
It's windy.
Yeah, always. It's really windy right now though.
Oh yeah.
So
you got done with the Marines. Then you decided you were going to open a tree service.
Right. So, before we get into that, man, there's so much stuff because I've been thinking about this, right? As soon as you said something about like, I like you on the pod and all that, and I'm like, man, I'm a chatty Cathy. I got stories for fucking days of shit.
Lay them on us, man.
So yeah, no, just to back up in in 2001.
Mm-hmm.
So I raised my hand, all that shit in 2001, August, right? And then December of 2001, I don't know. Well, yeah, I think you were gone at that point. But so anyways, I had taken speed or ephedrine, right? At like 11 o'clock in the morning. I was at school, right? And then I went on lunch break and I smoked a freaking bowl, whatever. And ended up getting into much trouble for it. Was very, like, a kind of hair close to not being able to join.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, so if I would have actually got convicted, the Marine Corps would not have taken me, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'll never forget the judge, because I was already enlisted, like I said, in August, and the judge looked at me and said, well, you're already going to hell, so get the fuck out of my courtroom.
Oh,
that's
shit.
exactly what he said, man.
So you didn't have to like go see like an actual like judge. You went to like the military court shit, right?
No, this was still in high.
Before,
I was still in. Yep, this was still in high school.
Gotcha.
Yep. And so that
the straight up judge told you that shit.
Oh yeah, 100%. Because I had seen him like a month before for other shit, and he was like, "If I see you again, man, you're going away." I'm like, "Fuck," because I'm still 17 at this point.
Right.
So,
I believe we're all on this. I've had at least 3 judges in my life that knew me well.
Right. But it's crazy, and I've actually was talking to my wife about this weekend, because I think about shit like this all the time, where it's like, well, if this didn't happen in my life, then this wouldn't have happened in my life.
Yep.
And I think about stuff like that all the time. So if I would have gotten convicted, there would have been no Marine Corps, right? Would have changed the trajectory of my life completely. So that was the first almost not joining the Marine Corps. And then so come August of 2002, already graduated, all that stuff. My dad was actually in jail at this time for his like third duty or whatever, right? And so it's just me and my dad, because obviously, my mom had passed away and when I was 1, and my brother was already gone, so it was literally just me and my dad. So he was in freaking jail, and when I left the house, he had said goodbye to me, and then I had to ride his bicycle back to fucking the jail. And so when I got to Sioux Falls, right before I flew out, I was telling them they have like a liaison, like a Marine liaison there. And I was like, dude, I can't do this. I don't want to do this. Like, I've had this girlfriend that I'm fucking in love with, whatever. My dad's in jail. Like, I don't want to do this. And he pulled me into his office and said, look, man, if you don't do this, you're going to regret it for the rest of your life. Like, I can promise you, you're going to regret this shit.
Right.
And so, me being me, I mean, shit, you could sell me a ketchup popsicle wearing white gloves. I mean, that's 100% the way I am. Like, I am a sucker for salesmen, or whatever you want to call it, right?
Yeah.
So, and then I went, right? So it's like, man, if I would have pushed out, I guarantee you I would have been in freaking prison or, something. I mean, I would have kept going down the same shithead path that I was on. And I kind of just never looked back. But I always think about that. It's like, man, that could have been it right there. That could have changed everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of shit's crazy.
Oh, yeah. And then, of course, the Marine Corps itself, that's just a trip. I mean, it's absolutely nothing like you see or think. You think you know a lot about it? No, you don't know shit. I watched videos, and I was so pumped to go and blah, blah. And then you get in there, and it's like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's insane.
I never went myself. My brother went through the whole process and didn't get all the way through, but they drug him through the whole shit for the first, I don't remember how long it was, but his teeth were bad, and they were like, "Oh shit!" Right at the very end, we're like, "Nope, never mind."
Oh, really?
Right. Yeah. So there's a lot of weird stuff, and I can only speak to the 2002 to 2006 part, right? I mean,
Right.
I mean, after 9/11, it literally was like, dude, I don't give a shit if you got a dick growing out of your forehead, you're going, like they would take
Yeah.
anybody at that point. Now I have no idea what it's like now, but yeah, no, it was insane, man. So like boot camp was just, fuck it, it was wild, man. Like I got in trouble so much because I laughed. Right, because I thought it was
Really?
fucking hilarious, man. Like when they're fucking with you and like they're tugging on your shirt or like and like that drill instructor voice. Oh, dude, I'd just start fucking laughing, and then I'd get my ass in trouble and what we used to call thrashing. Right, like you're doing push-ups and fucking running in place and
Right. Yeah, my brother
yeah.
went through all that. It was 04, 05, I think.
Oh yeah,
And he was like in Texas or some shit. I don't remember what fort somewhere he was, but went through all that shit. And then they were like, "Dude, your teeth are fucked up. We don't want you."
right.
It was
Yeah,
like,
I
what
wonder
the
why
fuck?
that. Oh, yeah, I kind of wonder why that is. I mean, maybe I don't know if you've ever had a toothache,
He
man, but
he
that shit
was
sucks.
well, and he was also like you were saying, he was kind of from his story, he was a dick, and
Right.
like was like laughing and shit like that. So
Oh yeah. I mean, I think they were trying to purposely make me fucking laugh, honestly, most of the time, because that's just hilarious stuff, and when they say like, oh yeah, they can't touch you, they can't hit you. That's complete horseshit.
right, for sure.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I got my ass beat a few times in there, and I always thought it was kind of funny. So I was what they call the house mouse in boot camp, and they picked the smallest guy, and they're like, hey, you're gonna clean the drill instructor's like office, right, daily or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And I'll never forget this one drill instructor kind of like went like he was gonna fucking hit me, and I flinched, and he was like, "You got beat as a kid, huh, Erickson?" I was like, "Yes, sir." And he goes, "That's good shit right there." I was like, "Oh damn, all right." So that was kind of the crazy thing is too is like, so boot camp is like, dude, when I got out of high school, I was like 125 fucking pounds. I was a freaking rail, right?
Uh-huh.
And when you're in boot camp, like, you're disciplined as hell. I mean, you're waking up the same time every day, going to bed at the same time every day, eating fucking good food, working out. I mean, you got a drill instructor up your ass 24/7. Like, there is no free time, period. Like, you don't take a shit unless they say so.
Yeah.
That's just the way it is, right? So then when you get out of that, you go to what they call the School of Infantry. And then if you're not infantry, you go to kind of like a dumbed down version of the School of Infantry. But anyways, so you go to that, and you got a little bit more freedom, but not, I mean, you're kind of still in like this boot camp mode in a sense.
Okay.
Sure.
But once you get to the fleet, like your actual unit, fuck, dude, it's literally a fucking like a fraternity. Like you're like a bunch of college kids in this giant barracks, like you do your thing fucking, 6 to fucking 4 o'clock or whatever. And then you can fucking drink beer or whatever you want to do, at that point. And it's like, dude, we had fucking guys growing they had pot plants in their fucking room. I mean, it's literally just a fraternity of fucking dudes that just have nothing better to do besides either fight each other or fucking find some kind of violence to do, right? Because you got all this training, and it's like, oh, here's a barracks, right? A 3-story building.
Oh, word.
And you got a roommate, and here you go. Now you're all like living together, and it's like, oh, so now we're all
pissed off.
Straight up alcoholics, just pissed.
Yeah.
I mean, that's seriously what the fuck it turned into, man. It's just like, it's nuts. I mean, and at this point I was 18 when I got to the fleet, and it's just insane, you know. And I'm like, you show up, and you know, it's like, well, at 18, I mean, what does any man want to do? You want to fucking fight or fuck, one of the fucking two, you know. And oh my god, you add alcohol into that situation, it just gets fucking insane.
Right.
You know. But
So where were you at that time? You obviously
So I was
weren't
in-
in Mitchell.
nope. So I was in. So when I left here, I went to boot camp in San Diego, and then I went to the School of Infantry on Camp Pendleton, which is like maybe an hour north of San Diego.
Okay.
And then I got put in the unit maybe 10 miles south of the School of Infantry. So basically still on Camp Pendleton the whole time. And, you know, I mean, you could go to Okinawa, Japan. It depends on what unit they have, or they have like an opening, or like they want to send you. You can go to it was 29 Palms of California, and that's someplace you did not want to go. That was where the 7th Marines were, and middle of the fucking desert, nothing around. The place you don't want to fucking go. But no, so I ended up in Camp Pendleton, and that's where I served all 3.5, 4 years or whatever, with 1st Marines at Camp Horno. So
Crazy.
Did you say Camp Porno?
yeah, Camp Horno and Horno. Horno. I know. So Camp Horno literally means oven in Spanish, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So like, oh, dude, and like, it was like situated in like a weird part of the fucking mountains. So like, I mean, it's hotter than a fucking devil's dick, dude. It was so hot. Oh my god.
I can imagine.
Yeah. So that's where I spent my 4 years. But we did when I was in, we were doing it was basically just do a workup, which means, you know, do your training kind of shit for 6 months, and then you were deployed 6 to 7 months. And that's literally like the cycle. Like after you got deployed, you came back, you did another 6 months of workups, you went back on deployment for another 6 months, whatever. And yeah, I did that.
Oh, okay.
You know, I did 2 deployments, and I didn't make my 3rd because the time that I got out, actually, it didn't line up. Like, so there were some guys that I was with that got out like 2 months after I did, and they got deployed for a 3rd time because the timing, you know what I mean?
Right.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yep. So the first time we got deployed was to Basra, Iraq, and then the second time we were actually in Baghdad, Iraq. And the first time, I mean, we were literally in the freaking middle of the fucking desert with some camo netting, like tents, I guess you will, if you will.
Yeah.
Jeez.
For the 6 months, and that was kind of like right after the initial invasion ship.
Okay.
So we didn't have, there was no running water, there was no porta potties. The job of a Navy corpsman, which is like your medic, right? You have a medic per platoon. The job of a corpsman is to dig your fucking latrine. So like, you know, we were literally shitting in a freaking hole for, you know, I don't know, the hell was it, the first 2 months? And then, yeah, and then we finally, I think once all the camera crews and all that kind of shit showed up, we finally got porta potties and stuff like that, because they didn't want, they didn't want people seeing like, oh, these fuckers just,
Yeah.
you know, I also remember standing on a freaking pallet. You know, I mean, we're in the literally in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Yeah.
And,
Right.
and I think all I had brought with me was 2 cartons of Newports, because I smoked Newports at that time. 2 cartons of fucking Newports, and those were gone within, you know, 2 weeks. And so we had no cigarettes, right? But I'll never forget standing on a freaking pallet and having one of my buddies with a bottle of water poured on me while I try and scrub my shit, you know,
Fuck.
because otherwise it was literally just baby wipes for 2 months.
Right.
And you could take your pants off and probably just stand them straight up. You know what I mean?
That's crazy shit, man. That's crazy.
Oh, it was just so fucking salty, you know,
Yeah.
which is fucking wild. But no, it's the first deployment was kind of whatever. It was it was strange, you know, being a fucking 19-year-old kid at this point, and
Yeah.
halfway around the world, you really don't know what the fuck's going on. And I think the biggest thing with any deployment we did was like, who's the good guy and who's the bad guy, because they're all wearing the same fucking clothes and shit, you know.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah, but
I
no, so
can't even imagine, dude.
Oh yeah. So it was very strange. I remember, like I said, so a couple funny things about that shit, right? So this is pre-smartphone. This, you know, I didn't even have a fucking cell phone at this point. This was 2003, for God's sake.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'll never forget. You know, you remember the magazine, Maxim magazine? Remember
Yeah.
that shit?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
buddy.
yeah. So that was my go-to fap shit. You know, like got a Maxim magazine. That's it. And this is gonna sound crazy, and I hope I never share this to anybody that I know, but
Well, this is, dude.
This is gonna be on a podcast.
This is on the podcast, dude.
well, you know, I know. So fuck it, whatever. Fuck it. Let's just let it all out, man. Let's get to the good stuff.
Yeah, I don't edit any of this shit.
Fuck yeah, raw baby. So I made it a point to plant my seed in every country that I went to, and I mean literally plant my seed. I literally dug a hole in Basra, Iraq, and fucking beat off and into that fucking hole, dude, and buried that shit.
Hell yeah.
Hey, where's the
That was-
applause? Hit the applause button. There we go.
Yes, let's go. Let's fucking go. It's like you ever had a Norwegian in you? No. You want to? You want some? We'll get in there. Oh fuck, man! But no, so like, yeah, there was no fucking smartphone. That's all we had in a 19-year-old kid, right? So back to being a 19-year-old kid, like full of piss and vinegar, full of fucking violence. You know what I mean? Just like, dude, I haven't seen a female in 6 months. Yeah, I'm pretty fucking upset. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
So, I mean, on any patrol that we went through, I'll never forget, you know, going in some freaking tent, you know, some freaking Haji tent, and, you know, jacking their fucking cigarettes and shit. Cause I'm just pissed. I mean, I'm just like, I'm just fucking upset.
Yeah.
And that's just, you know, and then, you know, you fast forward just a little bit, nothing in between there to shake a stick at. But, you know, once we got to Baghdad, that was a freaking, we weren't actually even supposed to go in. We were supposed to just do some training in Kuwait for about 2 weeks and then go back. But then there was like a National Guard unit or something that wasn't ready yet. So we had to, they were like, hey, you're going to Baghdad for 6 months. It's like, oh, okay, cool. So we did that. And that was literally just what I always said. And we're just going to go drive around for a couple hours looking for IEDs. Wait until something hits us, you know.
Right.
They called it route recon, but I was like, no, dude, we're just going to drive around until something fucking blows up, you know, and we all get pissed off.
Right.
Yeah, so we that deployment was 100% different because we were actually stationed at a FOB, which is a forward operating base with the Army. So, dude, you go to the chow hall, you want a fucking double bacon cheeseburger, you just tell that motherfucker you want a double bacon cheeseburger. You want some, you had freaking Red Bull on tap, I mean, fucking Mountain Dew, anything you want. It was all there. Ice cream. It was insane. It's completely different than the first deployment, 100%.
Oh, wow.
In Kuwait and shit, yeah. That?
No, so we were supposed to stay in Kuwait for 2 weeks and do training.
Oh.
But there was a National Guard unit that wasn't ready yet.
Right.
So they sent our Marine unit up to Baghdad for 6 months until they were actually ready.
Right, I see. Well, yeah, that's yeah. I had to go to Kuwait for work once, dude. I was there for like almost 3 weeks, but or I was there for 3 weeks, but I don't know. The worst part for me was no pork. That shit sucked, and no beer.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so shit, we had what the hell was I gonna say? So the first deployment, actually, backtracking to that a little bit.
Yeah.
We did some shit. We seized like a oil tanker, and we brought it to this British base in Basra, Iraq. The first deployment, right? and there were some Iraqi National Guard guys there, and I'll never forget this. But I'm out of smokes at this point, right? So I'm like, I got shit to trade, you know, like give me a carton of smokes kind of deal.
Right.
And I gave this Iraqi National Guard guy a freaking MRE that was actually ham and cheese, which obviously they're not supposed to eat fucking pork.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I gave him a ham and cheese, and then I was like, you know, give me 2 cartons or whatever. And he looked at I was actually looking at a magazine. It was a Club magazine, if you remember Club.
Yeah.
Oh, yep.
And yeah, full penetration. Let's go. So I got 2 cartons of cigarettes for a fucking Club magazine and a ham and cheese fucking MRE.
Nice.
You never seen a motherfucker run so fast. He was like probably going to just beat his meat so fast, dude.
I'm sure.
Oh my god.
I'm
Oh
sure.
fuck.
That's crazy shit.
Oh yeah. But no, so second deployment was, so first deployment we didn't really do much. We didn't really get into much shit. Second deployment there was a lot. I mean, it was all the time. Obviously Baghdad's way bigger. It was kind of a hot spot at that point, but
Right.
yeah, I mean, there was even a tree grove that, like, literally every time we drove past it, we didn't even fucking question. As soon as we pulled up to it, we started shooting at it. Right. You know,
Right.
we're rolling in like 7 Humvees, and you got a gunner. They would all just turn over that way and start fucking shooting it because we kept getting so much contact from them trees. We just,
Damn.
I don't care if there's a dog over there. We're fucking
word.
shooting in there. Just, you
Yeah,
know.
that's crazy.
You know, we had a couple trucks get hit by IEDs and all that stuff, and then at night too, you know, we'd get mortared and shit like that at night and during the day. You know, I remember we were at the chow hall, right, and it's surrounded by these giant 20 feet fucking cement barriers all around the chow hall.
Uh-huh.
And I had gotten my food. I had sat down with my squad, and I went to the fucking fridge to get a soda, like a Pepsi or some shit, right?
Right.
And I was walking back to the table to sit the fuck down. And all of a sudden, it was just fucking boom, boom. Like the ceiling was like doing waves. It felt like, you know.
Damn.
And fuck, we're all under the table and shit, you know. And then that was probably one of the first 2 weeks I was there. Fuck, we're all like shaking under the fucking table like a dog pissing razor blades, you know.
Should have bet, man. That's some
Yeah,
scary
and
shit, Joe.
I'll never forget, like, getting up. I was like, okay, it's all done. And I get up, and there were some, like, fucking army guys that had been there for probably a year. They didn't even fucking move an inch. They were still eating. I'm like,
Really?
what the fuck? Like, dude, that's a sign you need to go the fuck home, dude. Like,
Right.
when the shit's exploding and you're just chilling eating your cheeseburger, like, dude, it's time for you to go home, brother.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. That's crazy as fuck to think about,
Yeah.
man.
oh yeah, so I mean, a lot of people ask me about, you know, what it was like and this and that, and it's like, dude, it was a completely different world. I mean,
Well, I just want to say, not to interrupt you, but thank you for coming on the show and sharing this fucking your stories, man.
oh, absolutely.
bad to the bone.
Am I being too chatty? I told you.
No,
I'm
fuck
chatty.
no, dude. No.
No. No. And I'm sure
This
you
is-
hear it all the time, but I thank you for
Oh,
your
yeah,
service.
yeah. Yeah,
sure.
for sure, man. Like I said, it wasn't like it wasn't a terribly patriotic thing that I was doing. I
Right.
literally was doing it because I just sucked at school and I was like, fuck that shit, you know.
Yeah.
But
know,
you
it
went
wasn't
through
like-
some shit, obviously. That's
Yeah.
what counts to
Yeah.
me, man.
Right. And, you know, so, I mean, after that deployment happened, basically it was just hanging out in California, doing some training and whatever. And then it got time for the boys to deploy. And then I went to like a guard unit, which just guarded some shit on base
Right.
for the last like 6 months or whatever. And then got out, you know, and yeah, 4 years was fucking enough for me, man. That was,
should have bet, dude.
yeah, I mean, it was just a lot. And then, you know, towards the end, honestly, too, like I went through a lot of shit. A lot of like, you know, mental health type stuff. And
I bet.
Did counseling and, tried the whole getting put on meds shit, which didn't work. I've never sat well with freaking meds and all that.
Same, dude. Yeah, we're
Yeah,
I hear
it's
you.
just, I did what they call, cognitive therapy for years. And that was
Okay.
just trying to rework my brain to think a different way in a sense.
Yeah.
And it's so when I got out in 2006, they were kind of like the VA was kind of figuring that shit out a little bit. Like, okay, back in Vietnam and then maybe even Gulf War, like dudes were coming back with some serious like fucking mental shit.
Oh yeah.
And they had no idea what to do with it, right? So when I got out in 2006, they were just kind of starting to. Okay, now we've had millions of motherfuckers coming back, right? So the difference between like say the Iraq War and Afghanistan War versus Vietnam War and versus like the first the Gulf War in '92, right?
Right.
So the difference between that is that in Vietnam your mortality rate was fucking through the don't quote me on this, but like 75%, right?
Right.
Fast forward to our time, in the Iraq-Afghanistan conflicts, like medical technology had advanced so much that if you got shot, you're probably going to live, right? If you got your fucking both legs blown off, you're probably going to live.
Right.
So now, instead of, Vietnam War, you had, and don't quote me again, I'm just saying numbers, but you had hundreds of thousands dead. Fast forward to Iraq and Afghanistan, you have maybe a couple thousand, right? But you have hundreds of thousands of survivors with traumatic injuries.
Yeah.
Right. And that are going home. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, when you come down to that, it's like, okay, now you got everybody coming back and not only your fucking physical injuries, but now you have the mental shit that goes with it. Yeah. And that's why I think mental shit has just skyrocketed as far as like the help you can receive. And I applaud the VA, they've done a decent job, which we can get into another topic here after a bit on them too, but they've done a tremendous job as far as adjusting to the influx of all the mental shit coming through,
Right.
I got you.
And I've been very blessed with a lot of fucking good doctors and psychiatrists, whatever, that just, hey, I don't want to be put on some fucking pills and shit. I just want to talk, right? How do I figure this out? How do I move on from this? How do I, and shit, it's 2024. I mean, it's been 21 years since my first fucking deployment, Yeah. And like my wife still will not sleep next to me in bed. Like she's on one side, I'm on the other. Yeah. And she won't touch me while I'm sleeping because I've literally woken up and fucking started swinging and shit. It's not that I'm actually having a dream about it. It's just my brain and my brain more or less is on such high alert that any kind of startlement, like I'll fucking just kind of spaz out like fuck, Yeah. And I think a lot of that comes down to the second deployment and getting fucking mortared at night. You're sleeping in a fucking bunk and all of a sudden shit starts hitting the fan. Like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
100%. 100%. Guaranteed that's what that shit's from.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm glad I did it, but I struggle with shit daily, thinking about stuff or whatever.
I'm sure.
There's not a day that goes by that I don't think about shit. And fuck, it's been 20 years. It's like, well, if it's been 20 years, it's probably going to happen for the next 20 years as well,
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, and it's just like anything else in life too, right? So like, something happens, whatever. It's how you deal with it and how you react to it.
And that's that cognitive shit is no joke. That I agree with that kind of stuff a lot. It's all about thinking about what's going on and realizing what's real and
right. Because that was a lot of my biggest thing was always like, and it sounds crazy to say this, but it's thinking about like, is this real? Right? Am I here?
Right.
And is this happening? That was always the biggest thing. Like, am I still here? Is this actually happening? And that would kind of put me in a weird state of mind, and I would kind of spaz out on shit,
I have an amazing question for you.
Yep.
just that you,
how you pitched it. You pitched it to me perfectly. So, I've been kind of having the same thing too, as far as like looking back. Have you ever like thinking back on like everything you've been through, and then it's like, man, oh fuck, how do I want to say this? Like, I fucked it up. Does it seem real? Like you actually did it? You know what I mean? Like,
Well, that kind of goes back to what I was saying about I was a completely different person, right? It's a completely different fucking world that I was in. I was so into that lifestyle and who I was and what I was doing for those 4 years that it's hard for me to, how do I say that? Like, it was hard for me to get out of that lifestyle, but it's also now it's hard for me to get back into that mindset. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I know that. Yeah. I know that fucking dog's still in. I know that monster's still fucking breathing.
Word, yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's like, I mean, you know, and like the culture, right? So like we've had reunions with my buddies and shit that I was in the Marine Corps with. Actually just did one here in October of last year down in Texas, right?
Uh-huh.
And, you know, I show up and there's, I don't know what, 12 of us or some shit like that. But anyways, it's like we never fucking left. It's the weirdest thing. Like I haven't seen half of you guys for 15 fucking years. And I show up to this freaking ranch and we're hanging out and it's like, it's the same fucking jokes. It's the same fucking people.
Yeah.
You know, everybody's still the fucking same, but it's like we just fall right back into place.
Yeah.
And it's crazy, you know? So I think that's part of it too, right? Like, so like the culture and the people you're around.
Yeah.
Once you're not around it, now that been around civilians for how many ever years, you know, it's just, you kind of fall into place with it.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, it's crazy. I go down there and I see 12 guys that I haven't seen for 15 years and we're telling some crazy jokes. I mean, of course, we're a little bit fatter, you know, we're a little bit older, you know, some joints kind of fucking hurt nowadays and shit. But
yeah,
that's crazy, you know. And then shit, even when I left that ranch, I was balling.
I'm sure.
I was fucking balling. And I'll never forget, I look over because my buddy was taking a left on the highway and I was taking a right on the highway to go back to South Dakota. And I look over and he's got some fucking tears in his eyes and shit. And just kind of looked at each other like, I know what the fuck you're going through right now, man. I got you. You know, like I feel you.
I could totally imagine that, man. Like, yeah. I could see that for sure.
Yeah, it's nuts, you know. It's, you know, it's like anything else too. You know, the last 15 years or whatever, we've kept in touch. You know, we'll text each other here and there or whatever, but you know, we don't see each other as much as we should. But at the same time, like I said, we can go 20 years. It's like my brother, you know, like I can go frickin' 3 years without seeing him. As soon as he shows up, fuck, we're gonna be talking. You know, it'll fall right back into place. Everything's natural.
Right, and that's it's kind of a most human thing, and it depends. People are different now, but that's a old school, in my opinion, human trait of a thing of actually being a part of a group of people and shit like that. You know, like how family used to be. Family ain't like it used to be. People don't think about family and shit like when I was a kid.
Right. No, that's 100% true, man. I have, you know, it kind of sounds like a religious word, but fellowship, man.
Right.
Yeah.
Fellowship was a huge thing. I mean, way back in fucking caveman days, people would sit around a fire and bullshit, and they would talk. That's fellowship, you know?
Right.
Like that's, you know, if you're hanging out, dude, if I'm by myself and I'm hanging out, I'll get in my own head so fucking bad, I'm going fucking crazy.
Right.
You know? Honestly.
Yeah.
Like you gotta have that fellowship. I don't care if it's your fucking neighbor, you know, your high
that's
school
why
fucking
I
buddy.
paint, I think.
Something.
Dude, as I get older, I'm like, gotta tell my old lady, you know, I'm like, dude, I have to at least go to the bar for like an hour. I have to go be social with other people, or
Right.
it fucks with my head, man.
Right. It's kind of one of them things to just to know that you're not alone in this fucking world.
Right.
You know, that there's other people that are going through some shit like you are. That you know, that you're not alone in all this shit. I mean, it's you know, fuck, I'll be 40 this year. Stevie, you just turned 40, you old bastard.
Yeah. Josh is old. Josh is
42.
Josh has got a couple years on us, but
I'll be 43 in October.
Yeah.
Right. And so that's kind of the thing, you know, the older you get, the more you start thinking about shit like that, right?
Yes, sir. That's facts, man.
You know, I mean, especially when you got kids and, you know, fuck, my oldest, she's about 2 years away from, she'll be out. And it starts getting to you a little bit. So when you sit around and think about stuff like that, well, you know, to think about that too, right? So they always say when you lose a parent, you kind of realize your own mortality. Like, oh shit, okay.
Right.
It's going to come, right?
Yeah.
You know, at the same time, it's like when I see my kids growing that much, I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
yes, sir.
Like, oh boy, yeah, that's coming. You know.
Oh, I've had the sitting there, like waiting for the daughter to get out of the gas station and just start crying out of the blue. I'm oh fuck.
Here's a fun little fact for you, my man. So, Marley, my oldest daughter, her birthday is the same day as mine, and she turned 18. You know.
No shit.
Yeah. I turned 40. She turned 18.
Oh,
nuts.
Fuck no.
Right.
That is fucking nuts, dude. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I can remember my fucking dad's 40th birthday, for God's sakes, you know?
Right. Yeah. It's crazy.
And then it's like, I remember specifically thinking to myself, like, damn, now dad's 40. Like, you old bastard. And then here we are.
Dude, it's the old classic thing, too. Like, I remember my parents telling me, I remember your age, and da-da-da-da-da. And I say the same shit to my kids. I'm like, I remember when I was your age. And then they go back to their room, and I'm like, fuck. That's exactly what my fucking parents told me. I didn't even mean to do that.
Right. Oh, yeah.
I always remember my mom would be like, oh, you won't think it's really cool when you get older and have kids.
Right? Yeah.
Right. Oh, yeah. Well, I remember my fucking dad always saying, and I've never done this with my kids yet because I don't want them to know what I've done in my life, right? Like,
yeah.
My dad was like, oh, yeah, I've been there, I've done that. I used to do dumb shit, too. It's like, I don't want to tell my kids anything I've done because I don't want them to be like, well, you did it.
Oh, yeah. That's that's a fucking solid point.
Right?
Oh, yeah. Well, and you think, too, like, I mean, it's such a crazy age. Like a day and age, right? It's such a crazy time to be alive with the kids and their ability to communicate and
it's
social
nuts.
media and
it's
phones.
Nuts.
It's fucking insane, you know. And so I think we as parents we have like a disadvantage with all that shit.
Oh yeah.
Nowadays, you know.
100%. I talk to my wife about it all the time, man. I'm like, dude, it's not fucking fair. I tried to keep phone away from my kids all the way. My daughter got hers when she was on her from 12 turning to 13.
Yeah.
But I was like, it freaked me out. I just didn't want her to have one because of all the stories I heard about stupid shit.
Right.
And then it's like, well, kind of part of the shit I was afraid of. She chills in her room and is on her phone fucking 90% of the time I ever see her.
Right. Yeah, exactly. It's very easy for the kids nowadays to just disappear, right? To like escape reality with their phone or whatever.
Right. That shit's scary.
I've actually told my wife the same thing about like discipline, right? So back in the day, and my kids fucking hate when I say back in my day, right? Back in the day, they just like, oh God, here we go. But no, so back in the day, you know, if you got punished or in trouble, right? It's like, hey, go to your room.
Right.
You had to sit there and think about what.
Yeah, there was nothing to do in my room.
Right, exactly. So now, you know, if I would tell, you know, any of my kids, say, hey, go to your room, you know, you'd you fucked off or you did something wrong, go to your room. If they go to their room and they have their phone or any kind of electronic, it's like they immediately just go on that to distract their brain, right?
Right.
So they're not actually like thinking about what they did wrong.
Exactly. Yeah.
There's no time to self-reflect, like, damn, maybe I shouldn't have done that. It's just immediately on something else. And
Right.
so they're going to keep doing it and doing it and doing it.
Right. Well, and my wife will be like, "Oh, well, just read a book," or because they'll come out of the room. "Oh, I'm bored. It's like, well, that's part of the deal here. In my opinion, my wife's like, "Well, read a book or something." I'm like, whatever. Reading a book's okay, but they should have to sit there and think.
Right.
That's the whole point.
And think about, what is time?
Think about what you've done.
What
That's
is to go to
my
your room?
dad used to say.
I mean, that's literally like preparing you for like, hey, when you're an adult and you make decisions like this, your
Right.
ass going to prison.
Right.
And you're going to have to sit there and fucking think about shit, like it's literally
Oh, I know.
just like,
I didn't.
a mini prison deal,
I didn't quit being a dumbass till I started going to jail.
Yeah.
Then I was like, yeah, I don't really like this very much.
Yeah, right. This kind of sucks. I don't think I want to do this again. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. No, I mean, kids, it's such a weird thing, too. I mean, I never even in my wildest dreams imagined I would have freaking 4 kids. And
Right. I got one boy and one girl, and was like, score, done.
right. Done with it. No more. Yeah, when I met my wife, she had my 2 daughters ready.
Nice.
And they were 2 and 1 when I met her. And I'll never forget. I was like, hey, I want to have my own kids. Like I want to have my own blood. So, and she was like, because I'm done having kids, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, this probably ain't going to work then because I want to have my own kids. And so, she decided it's,
Yeah.
she wanted to. And we ended up having the 2 boys. So we have the 2 older girls and 2 younger boys. And then clampity clamp, snip, snip, done. With no more of this shit,
Yeah.
I couldn't even imagine going back to having to change diapers and do all that shit.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
in hell.
For sure.
Yeah.
Stevie's looking at
Well, I was
90s shit on the
I thought
computer.
I had this article popped up, like popular things in 1990.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we could go back, but
Mhm.
for some odd reason it wasn't up there anymore, and now this is all like 90s.
90s.
Yeah.
Well, you just got to search for 1990 without a S.
Well, yeah, see. 1990 popular.
Oh, I see Google fucking. I see.
Yeah,
what they
Google's not doing very good.
They
right
Googled you.
now. 1990 pop culture.
And say, I would like to know some random facts that I probably forgot about the 90s.
There was some cool shit I was just seeing on there.
Yeah.
See,
there's
it's all
so
good.
much I could tell you about the 90s, but, like, some random cool stuff that's like, dude, I forgot about that,
Oh yeah.
Like, I'm
Ooh,
pretty
here
sure
we
it's
go.
fucking-
Here we go.
What do you
What
got?
was
What do you got?
number 1 in 1990? Hold on. The song by Wilson Phillips.
Oh, number one
Hold
song.
on.
Yeah. Number
Oh,
2.
fuck yeah.
It must have been love.
But it's over now.
Yeah.
Who sang that
Do you
song?
you don't remember? It starts with a R.
Was that Roxanne? No.
Oh, close.
Yeah.
Close. Roxette.
Roxette. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's the same band that does You Got the Look. She Got the Look.
Do you remember who sang "Nothing Compares to You"? That big.
Oh,
It was.
Connor, brother.
Oh
Sinead
yeah.
O'Connor.
That was number 3. That was number 3.
What do you think the number 1 movie was in 1990?
Ooh. Fuck, I don't know. The Dark Crystal? No, that was in the 80s, maybe.
Yeah, that was earlier.
Okay, I'll give you a hint. Patrick Swayze?
He was
Ooh,
in
the
it.
ghost.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
That was
Yeah,
too
I was
much of
gonna
a
say
hint.
Ghost
I
or-
was gonna say pottery was my hint.
Ooh, yeah.
He was only in 2 good movies, Ghost and Roadhouse.
Yeah.
Well,
That's it.
unless you ask, like my wife, he was in what's it called too? That dancing movie.
Oh, Dirty Dancing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a good one too.
Man,
It was pretty good.
They don't make shit like they used to. You know what I mean?
No, they don't.
make movies like they used to. You know,
They
I
don't
remember,
make action figures like they used to.
no, none of that shit. You know, and it's crazy too. My youngest daughter was going to go to a movie with her boyfriend, right? And she goes, I was like, well, what's in the theaters? And I was like, oh yeah, never mind. We used to have fucking blockbusters every weekend, and now you got it's all
Ooh.
on streaming or whatever, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
That reminds me. Every time I see one of the, Stevie, I need you to make me a bunch of stickers that just say rewind. Do you know why? Can you guess why? Because he was just talking about Blockbuster.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I see all these cars that have the Be Kind sticker on the back of them.
Oh, yeah.
I just want to stick rewind right next to it. And half of them have no idea what the fuck. I was talking to my daughter today in the car. I was like, yeah, I'm going to do that. And she's like, what are you talking? I'm like, oh, well, yeah, you don't even know. Because you used to have to rewind your VHSs when you turned them back to Blockbuster.
Yeah, they actually had rewinders. Like it was like a
Right.
separate thing that you bought just to put the tape in and rewind the cocksucker fast.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Old, what was that? Showbiz video.
Yeah, they had Showbiz. They had 2 locations. They had South San Juan Video.
Yeah.
Did they have
Oh
a
yeah.
Be Kind rewind sign?
See that?
They
Ooh.
probably did.
Yeah.
But, all I remember about that place was they had like behind it like a fucking regular curtain. That was where the adult section was.
Yeah.
That's all I
They had a
remember.
couple of those here in Casper like that, too.
Mm.
Whereas just the curtain, you had to open the curtain and go back in the little corner where they just like made one wall, turned it into
Right.
a room.
Right. Oh shit. No, my son actually asked me. We were talking about it yesterday. I think we were actually talking about the Marine Corps or something. But he's like, "Well, why didn't you record it? Why didn't you record it? Why didn't you record a video?" And I'm like, "Well, back in the day, of course." He rolled his eyes. Right? Oh God, Dad, and back in my day, bullshit. But I was like, back in the day, you had to have a camcorder. And then that recorded on a little tape. The little tape had to go inside of a big tape, and that big tape had to go inside of a VR or VCR, so you could fucking watch it, right? There was no
Right.
freaking pulling up a smartphone, clicking a button, and boom, you're recording the fucking video. You know,
Right.
and that's you know, even back in the day, you had to take a picture with a camera, take the film out, take it to Jet Photo or whatever the hell,
Yeah.
and your picture's developed. You know, and
Oh, yeah.
that's, again, back to the what kids have access to nowadays. It's fucking, and dude, this has driven me nuts and blown my mind. You know, like nowadays, I mean, if there's a fire, somebody's taking a video. They're not trying to help. They're just taking
Oh,
a
I
video.
know.
Oh, yeah.
If somebody's getting stabbed to death, it's like, oh, I'm gonna pull out my phone and record it. Oh,
Right.
never mind, help the fucking poor bastard that's getting stabbed. You
Yeah.
know?
Right. Oh,
Like, Jesus
it's yeah, it should be illegal for sure. It is
Yeah.
in a lot of ways, but it depends on the
Chokers.
situation.
Chokers were a big thing. on that.
I was gonna ask him. I was gonna say, hey, what was that one thing that chicks used to wear that made them look edgy? Everybody had to have one. Stevie already said the answer.
Right. Check out this sweet choker I got. It's like having a chain on your fucking wallet, for God's sakes. That was
Right.
a huge thing.
Oh,
The
man.
bigger the chain, the cooler you fucking were, man. If you didn't have a freaking log chain on your fucking wallet, you weren't fucking hardcore, man.
Yeah.
Right. Dude, I had I moved from Casper to Phoenix, Arizona, and had lived in Casper my whole life. And little town gangsters and badasses and shit were the only thing I had ever been exposed to.
Right.
So wearing a chain and all that was to look cool.
Oh yeah.
When I lived in Arizona, that shit had a purpose, for real.
Right. Right.
Like,
I mean,
people wanted to fight you and shit all the time. If you went
Right.
skateboarding up to the mall, there was the group of the other people, and they wanted to fight you.
Right. Right. Yeah. It's not supposed to just.
And having a big chain made a big difference.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. No shit. I remember, in the 90s. So my brother went. Well, this is late 90s, but mid to late 90s. My brother went to college down in Florida, and we were. I mean, previous to him leaving, we were knockout drag out. We fucking hated each other,
Uh-huh.
And the moment he left for college, we were just best friends ever since, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that was kind of a huge thing. The hardcore scene was kind of coming through with music and stuff like that. Like, I'll never forget, it was in 96, I believe. We were playing Empire Strikes Back on Nintendo 64.
Okay.
You remember that shit?
Yeah, I was never a Star Wars guy, but I do know what you're talking about.
Right, yeah. So we were playing that on this Nintendo 64, and he had just went to Omaha to a concert. It was Korn was a headliner, but Deftones was the opener. And he came home with Deftones Adrenaline CD, and he was like, "Dude, you have to check this out." 96, sixth grade, right? He plays this shit.
Uh-huh.
Changed my fucking life forever. I was like, I don't know what this is, but it's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And so there was so many bands too. After that, I was just kind of hooked on the whole fucking hard rock scene or hard fucking shit scene.
You know what? I will say this. You are the one that introduced me to Rage Against the Machine.
Oh yeah.
Really?
I don't remember what birthday it was.
That's cool.
But yeah, went over to your house, and that was one of your birthday presents. And,
right.
Yeah, and I just remember that.
I'm trying to think what the fucking what the album was. It was with the little boy on.
What year?
Yeah.
What year was it? What year was your birthday?
Well, I don't. I'm pretty sure that was the year that the album came out.
Well, yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. 97? I know. 97? That would have been.
My computer.
It had the little dude with the looking like Superman kind of on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That was what's the name of that album?
For some reason, I want to say Empire. No, was it Empire?
Something like that. I think you're right. But yeah.
With the box full of shells.
yeah, that one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Evil Empire. Yeah. There we go. Slow ass computer.
Yeah.
Was it Empire? Was it Empire?
Evil Empire.
Evil Empire. Fuck yeah, dude. See, that was like that album and like getting into Deftones. That's when I started. I was like, dude, angry music. Fuck
right.
Yes. Let's
See,
go.
I was more. I started listening to Rage when they had the Monk on fire on the front. The very first one.
What was that album called? You remember?
It's just Rage Against the Machine.
Oh, just self-titled. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude. So good.
Yeah, yeah. And yeah, I loved that shit, dude.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I remember going to a few concerts because I was kind of into ska too at some point.
You saw Rage Against the Machine?
No. I was saying I was pretty into ska music at that point too.
Right.
Like my first concert ever was Real Big Fish at the Pompano in Sioux Falls, and I think that was probably 96, so I was in sixth grade, or 95, one of the two. But yeah, hats off to my fucking bro. But man, when he turned me on to music and live shows, I was just hooked. Yeah.
Right.
I'm not gonna lie, that one time when he reached out, I haven't been doing the radio stuff very much anymore.
Yeah.
But he sent me in his YouTube videos the holy moly. I don't even know how to explain it. It is so fucking cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. he's so I guess what he says is his genre is it's noise. And I don't know what the fuck that means, but most of the stuff that he sends me as far as music goes, like, it's really it's very selective music, like, right? Like, so it's not for everybody.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But he's so into like I mean just weird shit. I mean, that's all I can say. It's weird shit. It's fucking original. And I'm pretty sure what he sent you, that album is actually based off one horror movie. Because he's very into like the 80s horror movies and early 90s horror movies and shit.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm pretty sure that album is based off the movie called Scanners.
Okay.
I believe.
I know what that movie is.
Now.
Yeah, I think it's Scanners. Like, so the way he was explaining it to me, he was like, I'll never forget back in the day when I fucking got a TV in my room. Because back then, obviously, it was hard to get a TV in your room and actually fucking get a cable in there or whatever, right?
Yeah. Right.
But he's like, I'll never forget sitting up late at night watching USA, and this movie was always on. It was either Scanners or Body Snatchers, one of the fucking two.
Okay.
I'd have to ask him, but yeah, so he based this freaking album that he created off of that show or that movie.
Yeah, I need to get back with him because I need to get him on the podcast.
Hell yeah.
Oh, dude. I'm serious when I tell you that I talk to my brother maybe 6 months out of the year, once every 6 months. And the last time we talked, we got disconnected at some point, but it was like 3.5 hours. And then the next time it was 2 hours.
Yeah.
Like, we seriously just talked and talked and talked. And it's just about everything. We go to one rabbit hole to the next, man.
It's crazy. For as long as I've known you, I've never met your brother, dude.
Oh, shit. He's like a way cooler version than me. Oh, man. No, my brother, I mean, it's, yeah, I mean, he's very like-minded. He's easy to fucking talk to, obviously, but man, there's a lot of times where, and I'm probably the same way, like I told you, disclaimer, I told you I was a chatty Cathy, and I could just fucking go on, right? But now with him, dude, there's times where I'm just got him on speakerphone, and I'm just sitting there listening to him talk.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Because he's just going on a fucking rampage.
That's that wonderful fellowship you were talking about.
Right.
Well, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And yeah. You gotta have that shit, man. You gotta talk to people. You gotta let stuff out. You keep all that shit bottled up inside, and you'll drive yourself fucking insane, man.
Mm-hmm. So right. I got to. So you're kind of a conspiracy kind of guy too, ain't you?
Yeah. Well, what does everybody say? I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but
yeah. Well, I don't even really know if this is a conspiracy, I guess, but sometimes I'll go down the rabbit hole on TikTok or whatever. You know what I mean? Right. If I get a fancy. So the other day there was this clip, but apparently this girl, when going back to the 90s with the actual video camera, she put two mirrors together. Right?
Right.
Yeah.
And then she was like, oh, this is the craziest thing. Da 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 da. And then she put her hand in it and the mirror got all wobbly. And in the others, she didn't go all the way in that time, and then she backed up and showed what the one mirror showed, and it was inside of a grocery store. Well, anyway, she turns around, sets the camera down. She does the whole hand thing and does her head again, grabs the video camera. She falls into this grocery store, essentially. It is never ending.
Right.
They call it a backroom. Have you ever heard of this shit before, man?
No.
No, but it's very interesting. If you fucking find it, send it to me, because I love that shit.
Well,
and that's probably why I freak out and think of the shit I do, because I like shit like that.
Well, okay, so I'm gonna give you a little bit on it right now, my man. So there was this video going around of this dude that's like in this office. It's like this office space, and he just like keeps going and going and going. It's like a nonstop repeated fucking video, essentially, and it's the Backroom. Well, it's like another dimension. Well, I guess apparently if you put two mirrors together, it opens up another dimension, which goes to these Backrooms.
Right.
The other day when I was in Hobby Lobby, so this was like after I fucking went down this rabbit hole. So I'm like going and looking at these frames, and I'm walking in the aisle, and it's
the mirror aisle
word, dude. And I'm like, whoa, what the fuck? Okay, well, I haven't got sucked up or anything, but like I looked over just to see, you know what I mean? But like, I don't know, crazy. I wonder if it is a real thing.
You had never seen that before?
What, the mirror aisle?
No, just two mirrors.
No, not until that video.
Really?
I seen. Yeah.
Like when I was a kid, my grandma had one of those, the medicine cabinet over the sink in the bathroom.
Oh, okay.
And there was a door on the left and a door on the right. And if you opened them both at the same time, they faced each other.
Oh, okay.
And I could stick my head in between the two and open the one close, like slowly, and have the one directly behind the back of my head. And you could watch me.
Is it the same mirror?
Well, it's two separate mirrors. It's not connected because you can't bend a mirror.
Touche. Well, unless they're together, according to the video.
You can watch this thing bend, and there would be fucking 100 million of me.
Yeah.
Tiny as fuck to where I couldn't see it. Like in an arc.
It's like never
And
ending.
then you start closing it, and I would get less and less and less and less until it was right there.
It's pretty crazy, though.
But it is a scientifically
yeah.
explainable, natural fucking thing.
Well, the other thing that trips
If
me
you
out
reflect
is
a reflection, it will keep going forever.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's like outside of the mirror thing, but this whole Backrooms thing where it's like, it just started off of like 4chan or whatever, and like
somebody had a badass idea and was like,
well,
dude,
yeah,
I'm going to
but
start
like,
freaking people out.
Well, exactly, but at the same time, it's like, okay, well, like, who filmed this? Why is there this empty building?
That's
or whatever,
right?
Know what I mean?
But you have to also.
I don't want to go in between mirrors again.
Right. Well, I'm not scared. I'm not scared. I did it my whole childhood. It was like, look at this shit. I did for like an hour the first time I found it out.
I'm already in a weird dimension.
Right.
There's a lot of that shit nowadays where all it takes is, especially with like some mirror tricks like that, all it takes is a little bit of editing and Photoshop to make something seamless. And it's just like what I do with this music thing. You can loop video the same way you can loop sound and shit these days and make shit look infinite, and there's all kinds of crazy shit you can do.
Yeah, it's fucking technology, man. That's nowadays, like that's, kind of the thing about AI. I mean, what are you guys' thoughts on AI and all this shit? I mean, we can do, you can do AI in a whole
I'll
podcast.
be dead.
What's three talking about shit,
I'll be dead, I hope.
Here's the thing that gets me with the AI, I guess.
AI.
Or from what I understand. I haven't talked into this thing yet. There's still one in the fridge. I haven't talked into it yet or downloaded it or whatever the fuck it is. But there's this one thing, and it's like, oh, just talk into it and it'll paint this picture for you or whatever.
Right.
Ooh, man. I got some fucked up thoughts, yo.
Right.
But you know what's crazy and it pisses me off about it, I guess? It takes away from originality. And it's kind of like digital art too, in a sense, because you're not really painting or sitting there drawing. You know what I mean? It's, I don't know. That's my thoughts.
There's different ways to look at shit too. Like that part, 100%. AI should never. I don't know. Whatever. AI should not do art. Obviously, I guess if somebody wants an AI art, they can have whatever. But there's
speaking of art, we better give a shout out to Delgado Entertainment.
woo woo woo.
Cast Ascendancy Podcast.
Hell
We
yeah.
love you guys.
There's AI like my buddy. It works for things like oil field shit, pipe yards, shit like that. Like,
Right.
I gotta pay this fucking dude to make sure that I got fucking all these numbers in a list and da 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 da.
Oh,
When you can
gotcha.
fucking
Well, that's pretty dope then.
that kind of shit. I see points of that, but I don't believe it should go beyond that. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Count our shit
Right.
for us, put it into the computer, and send it to who the fuck it needs to go to.
Well, I did see this one thing where, like, now they actually can alter voices and stuff, like with
Right.
music.
But this is like walking in a pipe yard, and you have your phone, and you're
Oh,
like,
yeah.
15, 16, da, 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 and it fucking sends it to the computer, puts it in a fucking the right kind of paper format, whatever, sends it to the fucking main boss in fucking Houston, or you know what I mean?
And now we're in the back.
Instead of
rooms.
having 7 people to fucking do that job.
Yeah, and that's anything with automation, man. It's going to take away jobs. You just
Right.
said,
Which,
I mean, which is fine. I mean, as a business owner, like I
right,
understand.
when you're the
cut
ones
costs
that are
for-
fucking trying to make money, I
Yeah,
have a different opinion on that kind of shit because I go to a lot of different facilities. Like I said, I had to go to Kuwait. I go down to Texas. I go to Oklahoma. I go to all these other facilities to go fix shit that people don't fucking take care of. You know what I mean?
right.
And it's like half the people that I go to their facility are making more money than me
Right.
and can't even run a fucking facility. You know what I mean?
Oh,
So
yeah.
I get kind of pissed about that kind of shit. So I have thoughts, I'm like, what the fuck? That kind of shit is like, well, how about we just get rid of all these dumb motherfuckers that we're paying all this money to
Yeah.
and fucking make it happen?
Oh yeah, yeah. That's like where I work at now, because I had a tree service for about 7 years and then sold that, and then
You went into
Whoa.
race car driving.
yeah. So
Too bad
That-
your
that
name
was-
ain't Jerry.
I'm so bummed that I didn't get to go watch that, dude.
oh, dude, I got plenty of videos, but.
It's not the same.
Yeah, I know, dude. I know it. And dude, so for years I literally would watch racing, and I'm like, dude, I could do that. That looks like fun as shit, right?
Yeah.
And then you get in the goddamn thing, and you're on the track, and you're like, just everything you thought you knew about driving a fucking car, just throw it out the fucking window. You have no
Oh.
idea what you're doing until you get on the motherfucking track, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, no, it was fun. I mean, that's kind of the not to circle crazy back, but like that's kind of like like the military thing. Like it just, I'm in such a search for more adrenaline. I want like it's a drug, man. It's like, okay, one bump of coke ain't enough. Now we're doing fucking 2. Now we're doing freaking 10, baby. Let's go.
Yep.
And so, yeah. I mean, honestly, shit. I know you got kind of like a bum hip and shit, but I'm gonna go skydiving for my 40th, man. If you're down,
For real?
let it fucking go, dude.
For real?
Fucking for real. Hell yeah, I've already got it set up. I already know how much it costs. You gotta weigh as this amount, whatever. Dude, I'm down. That's what I want to fucking do.
Man, that.
Skydiving?
Yeah.
I want to go
yeah.
skydiving.
Fucking right, dude. You're invited too, brother. Let's go.
I want to go skydiving, bro.
Dude. Yeah,
It's like
so,
I always have these fucking dreams. The one dream, I don't really remember dreams much, but when I do, it's either crazy shit or like I'm always falling. not just falling off of some shit, but like I jumped a bike off of the biggest ramp ever, and I'm like, this is the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of the nerd that I'll Google shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
as far as like, I can't remember. There was a dream that I had too the other day that I fucking Googled, and it was something about like, oh, you're not letting go of something.
Oh,
or
yeah, all the
fucking
what the
whatever.
dream things tell
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some crazy shit in there.
It's like, what does this animal mean that I've seen in my dreams all the
Word.
time? You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have dreams enough. Well, all the ones I have are pretty much all this fucking same.
So is
Right.
Google the real AI?
Who knows?
Oh, yeah, it could be.
I don't know.
I mean, it very
It's
well could
fucking.
be. I mean,
Dude,
I-
have you watched that fucking show yet that I was telling you? The Great American Hack and all that shit?
Oh, no, not yet.
Yeah, you ought to watch that shit.
well, the craziest thing is data, right? So,
Yeah,
like,
that's what I'm
TikTok,
talking about.
They're sharing your data or whatever, right? Like anything you do on your fucking phone, which everybody does almost everything on their fucking phone. Like, I mean, even for me, right? My alarm clock in the morning, my fucking social media through the day, whatever. If I want to watch a movie, it's on my smartphone or, some version of that. It's like all this data's getting fucking collected. You run that through fucking AI or whatever program. I mean, I could probably find somebody that has my data and they could tell me everything about my life. Probably even shit I don't even know.
Have you watched The Great American Hack?
No, I have not.
On
What is that on?
Netflix.
Damn. I need to watch that.
Well, I'm telling you.
Not promoting Netflix.
No, I'm not. We don't promote shit unless they want to pay us.
Right.
You want to pay us some money, whatever.
A shout out.
But yeah. Anyways, it's pretty fucking nuts. It's people that work for Google or other social media sites, and that's all they get into. And they're like people that are like, "Did I quit this company because I started this company because I thought we were gonna be like bring people together, good fucking shit," and this shit is totally backwards, and fuck the government, and I don't want to work for this company no more.
Right.
It's pretty crazy shit. And,
Yeah,
and it's like I try to tell everybody, it's like, oh, well, your phone is recording you. And no, that's how much data they have on you. Because you're on your phone all fucking day long, and they know exactly what you think at what time of the day and who you're around. As soon as you walk into a room, they know everybody at your work. They know everybody that you're talking to. They know what they're going to talk about with you because they saw what they were just looking at on your phone. Like, they can send shit right to you without listening to you. They don't need to listen to you. They know exactly what you're thinking.
Oh, yeah. Well, and, to go back to conspiracy theories, Stevie, like, maybe I'm just like the worst is coming and the fucking sky's falling kind of guy. But, when I think about stuff like this, it's like we're in a very, very scary time, to be honest with you. With the amount of information we have, with what's happening in the freaking world climate. I mean, it's very easy to say, well, what were we talking about? Like, it's okay. Yep. Nope. It's not a big deal. It's okay.
Yeah.
Or, how do I want to say that? That's the phrase. Well, what can we do about it?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's always the biggest thing. Like, when it comes to even city politics or government politics, it's like, well, what can we do about it? That's the way it's always been. It's the way it is. Right.
Money talks and bullshit walks.
Exactly. Exactly. And it's like,
I had that experience today.
With all these people on freaking social media and shit, it's like, well, kind of you piggyback off what you were saying. It's like, well, you can talk like a duck, but you got to walk like a duck too. You can't sit there on social media and say, well, the U.S. is just a fucking shithole and it's going this way or going that way. Well, what are you doing about it?
Yeah.
Right. Well,
It's like-
that's the problem, though. They can. That's the problem. Everybody does. They just sit there and talk shit.
Yeah.
That's
actually-
why. Yeah, that's my problem with social media. And yeah,
My wife and I, we started. There was another gal too, Amber. Shout out to her. We started up the Facebook group. What's up, Casper? Because there was a lady that would troll, like the advertising in Facebook groups. So like if you would like it, anytime you would post something that would be positive, she would fucking like flag it and then message you like all this fucking bullshit. And like, I don't know. I always got hella fired up, which I see people complain about the same lady all the time.
right.
And I feel bad for them, but it's like, what the fuck are you doing, lady, with your life?
Right. Yeah.
Why are you hassling people?
Honestly, like we live in a town of 500 people right now, or
Sweet.
600, or it's growing. But
I lived in one of those.
it's, dude, I lived in California. I moved out of there because it was just too fucking hectic. This was whatever, right? And then I lived in Minneapolis for how many years after the Marine Corps, and it's fucking insane. I mean, it's so insane that I can't wrap my head around why or how we as a civilization have gotten to this point. Like, where the fuck?
Have you ever been to Wyoming?
No, I've actually.
You
no.
ought to
Well,
come
I've
visit.
driven through there.
You ought to come visit.
Yeah,
There ain't fucking nobody here.
Well, it is growing.
Well, it is never, ever. It can't even get close. At fucking Denver's small, or you know what I mean?
Right.
Denver
Dude,
is
that's
4 times bigger than our state. Has 4
Yeah.
times as many people as our state.
Well, if you come this way, my man, you got a couch, you got a bed to sleep in, my man.
Right.
oh fuck it.
Dude, and it's crazy. Yeah, I love it. I love it here. I'd like to say that Wyoming is downhill from everywhere. I was born here, but
Right.
I've been to lots of different places, and now that I'm getting older and shit, there's no fucking way I would live anywhere else, man.
Right.
I have to
And-
go to big cities for work and shit, and I'm like, there's no way. I would fucking murder people if I had to deal with this shit every day. There's no way.
I still would like to die in South Dakota.
Well, yeah, that's
Live
where
there.
you're from, man. And that's not that's
South
different
Dakota,
too.
We're like 800,000 people.
Right, it's different too.
And I'm sure it's very similar to what you guys got, but I mean it's so I still have family in California, right? So my uncle that was born and raised in South Dakota moved out to California for work, whatever, in '88 or whatever it was, and stayed out there. So every summer growing up, from like freshman year to senior year, my dad would fly me out to California, and I'd live with my uncle and my cousin for 2-3 months, right?
Right.
And then being stationed in California, very fond of that. I mean, I fucking love California.
Yeah.
I would live there. So, I mean, if it's never going to happen, but if everything would line up, yeah, obviously I'm done.
Right.
Yeah.
In SoCal, that's where I'm going. I love the fucking beach. I'm a fucking beachhead. I love it. But,
Dude, from Casper, there's 30 minutes away, Sandy Beach, we call it. It's on a lake, but
Right.
it's sandy like a beach.
There is a lot of cool shit that happens here, man.
I just like that there's so much land here. Everywhere I go, Texas, Oklahoma, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, it doesn't matter. All the land is owned.
right.
Our land, you can go 20 minutes from my house and get on a 4-wheeler and drive for days and not get fucking fucked with because it's all fucking just land. You can do whatever the fuck you want.
That's where it's at. And honestly, that's why this part of the country, it's like the last frontier. It honestly is,
Right.
like Southern California. And I can't speak for Northern California because I've never been up there. I lived in California for years, but never went to Northern California. But Southern California, I mean, it's a concrete jungle. Everything's fucking owned. Everything's been touched. You know, there's no place to seek adventure, period, because there's 1,000 other people right there with you every step of the way. But it's just my thought. My problem is the fucking mentality of the fucking people, man. It's just the people that I go visit down there. Oh my God! I mean, my aunt, because my uncle passed 2 years ago from lung cancer. She's from Queens, New York, and she is very into big farming. Like, she's so secluded in her own world and what she soaks in as information that she thinks that everything, like when I sent her a picture of me and my son that shot a deer this last year, you know, she's just fucking going off on it.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
It's like, dude, like, this is what we fucking do. 1, 2, we're gonna eat every ounce of that fucking meat. You know what I'm saying?
But you are a product of your environment, and that's why I have never been to California ever in my life, but we have a huge. There's this thing you can look at, a map that shows people leaving California.
Oh yeah,
and there is shit tons of people coming to Wyoming and Colorado, and you know what I mean.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And every person that I meet in a bar that I'm like, oh hey, what's up? I haven't seen you before. I'm from California. Well,
yeah.
That mentality that is there that you hear in the media or whatever, that everybody's like, you know, don't blow smoke out the window of your car because I can smell it 3 blocks away and you're giving me lung cancer. And I'm going to fucking walk up to your window and tell you. It's like, dude, I'm from Wyoming. You get shot in the face if you walk up to my fucking window.
Yep, that's the biggest thing. So
don't approach me.
This tiny story will make sense. So, me and my wife were gone, and my youngest daughter, her boyfriend was at the house, and some other kids came to the house, right? And we've seen it all because we have cameras all over the fucking place.
Right.
And long story short, a fight breaks out in my front yard with these kids and my daughter's boyfriend, right? And he's punching the shit out of these kids. Well,
allegedly.
No, yeah, allegedly. There you go. I like that word. So when I start talking to other parents that were involved in this shit and the father of the kid that was doing the beat, right?
Right.
The problem is you can't get fucking hit in the mouth anymore, right? You can talk all this fucking shit and there's no repercussions.
Yeah.
If you talked a bunch of shit like that, you know, back in the day or whatever you want to call it, you know, I don't give a shit, you know, 5 years ago, right? You talk all this shit and you get fucking whopped, like that's on you. Right?
Yes,
sir. That's why I miss prison.
Nowadays you can say whatever you want and like I can flick somebody in the fucking ear and they just, oh fucking Jesus, here you assaulted me. Oh my God, I'm dying.
You don't even have to do that. You can knock a cigarette out of somebody's mouth. Assault. I didn't even touch you. I just knocked the cigarette out of your mouth.
Or you're a transphobe.
Sorry.
Oh fuck. Well, that's the problem though. I mean, think about that correlation. It's like we're catering to a society of fucking kids.
Right.
You know, it's like I've even had my kids say, you know, like if I whop them upside the head or like correct them, even like stop them and hey, what the fuck you doing? Like that's not right. Yeah. You know, you're supposed to do this, whatever. It's like the first reaction I'll get is, hey, what's up with the attitude? Or why are you being rude? I'm like, what do you mean being rude? Like I'm your fucking dad.
Yeah,
you know, you're fucking up. I'm trying to correct you so that you do the right thing.
I'm keeping my kids on that page, man. My kids are on that page.
Right.
Because my daughter one time in the hallway was like, dur, dur, dur. decided to fucking bust out with the B word yelling at my wife and was like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't give a shit.
Oh, yeah.
And I let her know right away. That will never happen again, and it won't ever happen again.
No, and so
And
back to what
you
you were saying
can't-
way earlier in the pod, like when you were saying something like the breakdown of the family, and like there's not that fellowship, right? There's
Right.
not that you're the dad, you're the
Right.
mom.
I have my middle name because my grandfather and because my dad and his dad all had the same middle name. And that's family shit. And
This thing is so
like, I got a fucking buck knife that my dad gave to me to give to my fucking firstborn and shit. You know, people don't do that kind of shit no more.
Right. I mean, legacy, fucking, I remember my dad, when I was growing up, getting in fucking tussles when I was a kid. And he'd just shake his head and he'd say, yeah, well, you're a fucking Erickson, right?
Right.
So it's like, like your last name fucking meant something.
Yes, sir.
At that point, it was like, hey, you're a fucking Erickson. What are you doing? We don't fucking do this. We don't do that. But we do this and we do that, because we're Ericksons. Like that kind of, it made you feel like prideful as a kid.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
for
Okay,
sure.
all right. Yep, that's my
Well,
last name. That's who I am. This is my family legacy in a sense,
And that's how I'm a Fred Erickson.
Yeah.
For real, I'm Fredrickson. It's
Oh, shit, yeah.
Norwegian.
Oh, fuck yeah. Dude, I did the 23andMe stuff, and at first it was 67% Norwegian, and then it went to 87%, which I already knew because my grandma was born in fucking Norway, so I was like, yeah, we're pretty well straight up.
I'm like 43 Norwegian.
I'm very
German
curious.
and Swedish.
Yeah. I'm
My
very curious. Like, I don't know. I kind of want to do one of those things,
Right.
but then it's like, how accurate is it?
It's very
They
accurate.
say
So
it's pretty
yeah.
The way-
accurate. I don't know how that works, but I'm just scared of giving my fucking DNA to the motherfucking.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, that was my thought too.
I don't know what stupid shit they got of me when I was a dumbass teenager.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
So
I mean,
think
it
most of
kind of goes.
most of it goes off of like the more people that do it, the more likely they can match DNA.
Right. For sure.
Right. Because like
Yeah.
it's not just you spinning a cup and they can tell where you are, like, or who you are,
Right.
or where you're from automatically. It's based off of data from other people doing it.
Right. I've looked into it and shit.
Yeah. My wife
I
actually
have
was
one sitting on
2%
my
Egyptian.
on my shelf that my wife got me for Christmas 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
still haven't
Well,
done it
back-
because I've been all fucking like scared to do it. I'm like, nah, I don't know about putting my shit out there like that.
Right. No, I hear that too. I was like, I don't know if I want the government knowing who the fuck I am, or I don't want them to have
Well,
my DNA.
you're locked in.
Yeah, they have yours.
Yeah, you're locked in already, bro.
Oh yeah. Yeah. We took that shit when you were 17.
Yeah,
dog.
we're.
Well, fuck, dude. How do I know? I had to fucking do piss test and all kinds of stupid shit to get into 6th grade football. So
Yeah, you're locked in.
that
too,
shit
man.
was probably from the government back then. Who fucking knew?
Oh yeah. Yeah, you're sick and you go to the doctor. I need to take your blood. Oh yeah. Okay.
What are you, a vampire?
Yeah. Oh,
I came
shit.
here because my fucking toe hurts. Or some shit.
Why are you sticking your finger in my ass, dude? I said my fucking foot hurts. What the hell?
Your mom can't afford those fillings? Hey, let us drill these other 8 teeth and you'll get that one for free.
Oh,
We'll
shit.
send you the bill.
Fuck. Right. Why am I spreading my cheeks right now? Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh fuck yeah, man. Yeah.
Well, hey,
We're
I
at
think
an hour and 36 minutes, man. This has been a good one.
It sure has.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. No. I like it. Like I said, I told you I was gonna be a chatty Cathy, man.
Hey,
Oh,
dude,
this is about average of what we
it was
run.
it was fucking beautiful. And I have
Average?
to,
Shit, let's keep going then. I don't like average.
I can't wait to actually kick it with you again.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
We
You
have
never made
a
the
lot.
20-year reunion.
No, I didn't. And here is a disclaimer.
Fuck all you guys.
No. About the only reason I would have. Well, no, I can't remember what the fuck popped up or whatever. But I only would have went if you, Olivier, and Dagan would have went. And you guys like said the same thing, and then I felt like an ass because all that shit popped up.
Right.
And I'm like, fuck. But
All right. No, I went to it honestly, and it was a weird thing. It's like everybody we knew as kids, they're all the same. They're just adult bodies, right?
yeah,
They're just more wrinkly and more saggy in areas, you know.
yeah.
So I mean, it's
And then
that was
most
the
of
first one
them,
I actually went to, and I don't know.
most
I
of
ended up
them
just
don't
getting
even.
fucking drunk just because I was so uncomfortable.
Yeah,
Well,
word.
That's I've never been invited to one of my. Well, I was invited to one, but I was invited to the one in Wisconsin. I only went to Wisconsin in like 7th grade, and they invited me to a high school reunion. I'm like, motherfuckers, I never even went to high school in Wisconsin. It's like, all right, whatever.
Cool, party's on.
Yeah,
I never went though. It was like, dude, that's too far away, man. That shit's 14 and a half hours away.
I went I graduated from Platte, South Dakota. Was a Black Panther. I went to the 20-year. What was that?
You went to a Black
last year.
Panther?
Yep, I went to a Black Panther party.
That's cool.
Right outside of Platte.
But
yeah, that's pretty much what I did. I was like kind of super uncomfortable. Hell, got super drunk. I sold some artwork. I came loaded up in the van.
Oh yeah. We did that once too.
Yeah, in Canton.
Canton,
South Dakota, the barn party.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I totally had a different vision in my head.
Yeah.
Totally. I thought it was going to be like some big, huge fucking. Well, like my uncle used to have barn parties when I was a kid, and there was like fucking 900 fucking people show up or some shit.
It was like kind of a sophisticated kind of place.
Yeah, it was different.
Very nice, though.
It was cool. It was cool as
Shout
hell.
out to them for allowing us to be
Party
there.
time. Shout out to party time.
Anywho, should we get out of here? Do you want to lead us out of here with something, Josh? Ooh, what do you think of that, Sean?
Ooh,
Yeah.
I'm about to get naked and dance in my living room.
Yeah.
That's all I was gonna do. About to do the helicopter around here.
Yeah. It's funny because he always makes up these new. I guess I call them underground sounds.
Yeah, I got a fucking Chaosillator Pro, a looper. It's a synthesizer looper in one.
Oh, dude, that brings it back to like the '90s. Back to the '90s, right?
Right.
So the first,
Dude,
the,
for
the
real.
the first porn I ever watched, right? So back in the day, you could dub movies onto VHS, right?
Oh yeah.
And my brother Steven had one, and I'll never forget this. It was the first porn video I ever found of his, right? In his stack of VHSs, and the label said Family Reunion. And I was like, what the fuck? So I put it in. Fucking just porn for days. I was like, hell yeah. I was like, what the fuck? Family reunion.
Yeah, what
like,
kind of family reunion is this?
He's like, Dad's never gonna look at this one.
That's fucking fun.
Oh yeah, and the porn name was, or the porn movie was called Amazing Cocks. Hell yeah. So, thanks, Josh. That music brought me back.
Yeah.
100%.
Hell yeah. Oh, I'm still going.
I should make this a clip.
Amazing Cocks.
Yeah.
Brought to you by-
Well, like I wrote down a couple. I can't remember what we were talking about, but like quote unquote points of the show that I need to go back to.
Right,
Make
right.
like clips out of them and shit. But this one's gotta be.
Oh, dude. Clip Amazing Cocks. Oh, hell yeah. That's where it all fucking went downhill.
Yeah. Josh started the music.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah. You woke up that beast, brother.
Yeah. Well, hey, man.
Oh, fuck.
No,
it's been good. Dude, this was fun. This was a lot of fun. I would like to do this again and,
most definitely.
you know, just bullshit. I mean, you know, it's again, it's a fellowship thing, you know, just being able to talk to people like-minded and just talk, just bullshit, you know, just you can't solve any problems if you ain't talking about it. So
That's right. Dude, it was amazing that you came on. I'm glad you had a good time, man.
fuck
Hell yeah.
dude.
Yeah,
I could do this
yeah.
again.
It was good
For
to
sure.
kind of meet you, kind of.
Yeah,
Well,
you as well,
you-
Josh.
you will
No, it was
physically.
good, man. Yeah, no, that would actually be kind of a cool deal too. Is make a trip over and actually do this like in studio or whatever you want to call it, you know,
Yeah, fuck yeah.
and just bullshit and fuck yeah, man.
Yeah, that would be the shit.
We could show you
Hey.
around, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I actually enjoy seeing Wyoming. Like I said, like you were saying, it's kind of similar, but there's a lot of fucking open area, so that'd be nice to get over there and see what it's all about.
Fuck yeah, I know lots of we can go catch brook trout and shit
Shit, yeah,
underneath big ass boulders. Fuck yeah.
hell yeah.
Well, hey, man. You have a wonderful rest of your weekend.
I will, sir. I
whatever
appreciate
it
it,
is.
Josh, Stevie.
Yeah,
I loved it. I love the music. Three-wheel bicycle,
Thanks.
baby. I love it.
I'll get at you later on for sure.
hell yeah, man.
Cool, man. Yeah, I'm gonna listen back on this shit too and see how dumb we sound.
Shit, yeah. That's the wonderful thing about podcasting, my man.
Fuck yeah, dude.
All right, later, man.
All right, later, guys.
Later.
That was badass, dude. Shout out to Sean.
Right? Hell yeah.
That was amazing, dude.
That was fun. It was good.
We got into all kinds of wonderful topics, man.
Right.
Just a little snippet of his marine experience. We get into some
Yeah,
back
pretty crazy
rooms,
shit. Yeah, it was cool. It was good shit.
2 mirrors, some amazing outro music that turned into a crazy conversation about what was it again?
Yeah. You gotta listen.
The Prano or whatever.
Check it. Yeah. It's good stuff.
Three-Wheel Bicycle Podcast coming out of Casper, Wyoming. I'm your host, Stevie V,
Josh and
and we are out of here. Share it up with all your homeboys.